Welcome back to class, everyone. And today's explainer is a highly targeted study session designed to help you completely ace your final exam on the factor rating method. Look, if you've been feeling even a little overwhelmed by the formulas and the terminology, just take a deep breath. We're going to break this down into clear, visual steps so that by the end of our time today, you'll be able to solve these problems in your sleep.
You know, whenever a business needs to pick a location from a map of possibilities, whether we're talking about a new coffee shop, a huge manufacturing plant, or a tech hub, we really need a clear, logical way to make that call without panicking or just relying on a gut feeling. And that is exactly where this method comes in. It completely takes the guesswork out of the equation and replaces it with structured, reliable analysis.
All right, here's our study guide for today. 1. The factor rating method. 2. Qualitative versus quantitative inputs. 3. The 6 essential steps. 4. Example, photo processing store. 5. Calculating the winning alternative. And 6. Final exam practice questions. We'll break down the theory first, apply it to a real-world example straight from the source material, and finish up with a pop quiz to lock it in.
Section 1. The factor rating method.
Let's start with a clear definition that you absolutely should write down on your flashcards right now. Think of the factor rating method as the ultimate scoring system. It's a real game changer because it's a highly versatile technique that lets us evaluate a single given alternative or compare several locations side by side. It does this by blending different types of data, both the hard numbers and the softer, more subjective judgments, into one unified, easy-to-read score.
Moving right along to Section 2, Qualitative versus Quantitative Inputs.
Now, to truly understand what we're plugging into the system, we need to know the fundamental difference between the two main types of data you're going to encounter. To simplify this, especially for my non-native English speakers out there, remember this simple analogy. Quantitative sounds like quantity. These are exact numbers, things you measure with a calculator or a ruler, like traffic volume or your monthly rental costs. Qualitative, on the other hand, sounds like quality. This is all about human judgment and feeling, like observing how welcoming a store's layout is, or just the general vibe of a neighborhood. The brilliant part? The factor rating method allows us to use both.
Section 3. The 6 essential steps. Okay, here's the core theory that is for sure going to be on your final exam. The 6 procedural steps. I want you to treat these 6 steps just like a cooking recipe. First, we gather our ingredients. We determine which factors are relevant, like water supply or maybe parking. Second, we decide how important each ingredient is by assigning weight. Third, we decide on a common measuring cup. Think of this as a common scale, like 1 to 100. Fourth, we score each location alternative. Fifth, the actual cooking happens. We multiply the factor weight by the score and sum the results. And finally, step 6, we pull our winner out of the oven by choosing the alternative with the highest composite score.
Section 4. Example, photo processing store.
Let's step away from the abstract theory for a minute and actually tackle a guided practice problem together. Seeing it in action is literally the best way to prepare. So, here's our scenario. We have a photo processing company that intends to open a new branch store. They've got 2 potential locations on the table, creatively named Alternative 1 and Alternative 2. We can't just flip a coin here. We need to logically prove which one is the better choice using our 6 steps.
Following our recipe, Step 1 gives us our relevant factors cleanly listed on the left: proximity, traffic volume, rental costs, size, layout, and operating costs. Notice how this mixes both quantitative numbers, like costs, and qualitative feelings, like layout. Then, Step 2 gives us their relative weights. Look really closely at this part. Rental costs are weighted at 0.40. That tells us right away that for this specific business, rent is the absolutely critical factor by a super wide margin.
Next up, we execute steps 3 and 4 by deciding on a scale from 1 to 100, and then scoring each location based on how well they perform in each category. For example, Alternative 1 has a perfect 100 for proximity to an existing store, but a rather poor 40 for its layout. Meanwhile, Alternative 2 has a much better layout score of 70 and a fantastic rental cost score of 90.
Section 5. Calculating the winning alternative. We've got all our data perfectly organized. Now for the math phase. Grab your calculators, let's slow down just a bit and carefully run these numbers together. Let's put Step 5 into action. We simply multiply each score by its assigned weight to get these final weighted scores. Look at that critical rental cost factor for Alternative 1. A weight of 0.40 multiplied by a score of 70 gives us 28.0. We do this exact same thing all the way down the column and then sum them up at the very bottom. Alternative 1 gives us a total of 70.6. Alternative 2 gives us a total of 82.7. Following step 6 of our procedure, the decision basically makes itself. We confidently choose alternative 2 because 82.7 is our highest composite score. It is the clear, mathematically proven winner, taking into account everything from hard rental numbers to the qualitative layout of the store.
Section 6.
Honestly, nothing to panic about. You've learned the steps, you've seen the math, and now let's test your memory with 3 quick practice questions to reinforce your learning and guarantee you are ready for exam day. I want you to actively engage with this explainer. Don't just sit back and listen, participate. Please drop your answer to question 1 right down in the comments below. Think back to our cooking recipe analogy. What was our common measuring cup?
All right, for practice question 2, in our photo processing store example, which factor carried the heaviest weight at 0.40? Think back to our very first table. Which specific factor was deemed the most important by the company? Hint, it's a quantitative input that businesses care about a whole lot every single month.
And finally, practice question 3. What mathematical action do you perform in step 5 before summing the results? This final question tests your grasp of the core calculation. If you know exactly what to do with the weight and the score before you add everything up, you are fully prepared to ace this topic on your final exam. So, what's your final answer for question 3? Drop it in the comments below. And before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. The math here is incredibly clear. But what happens in the real world when a company's qualitative gut feelings completely contradict their quantitative data? Which one should ultimately win out? Think about it. Keep reviewing those flashcards, and I'll see you next time.